Hey guys, welcome back to Habitat Kitchen. As you guys know, we are trying to limit our waste inside this house. I've been craving chips hardcore, and today we're making them finally so I can settle my craving. All you need is russet potatoes. Russet potatoes, the reasoning is because they're high in starch, and you want that to get that good crisp. So all you have to do is you can peel these or you can leave them with the skins on. I'm going to leave them with the skins on. I like that. It's a bit more of a kettle chip style. And if you're trying this recipe out for the first time, you just want to kind of give it a whirl, feel free to cut them by hand. But it's going to take you a while, and if you're trying to go zero waste, you're definitely going to want something that's going to make this job go a lot faster. So very simple. I'm just going to put this together. Ta-da! It's done. So if you have one that doesn't fit inside the attachment, if you're working with a mandolin, you might not get this issue at all. But if you're like me and you're working with a food processor, you're going to want to slice down one of the edges of your potato. That looks rather uniform, and it can fit through easily, which is what I want. And if you are not keeping these guys, don't forget to compost. I'll say it every time, but you're going to hear it once again. Compost. Okay, we're going to start this up. I'm going to go to high because it's a root vegetable. Turn it on. And it goes. Beautiful. And that's a ton of chips. But this is a perfect size. You don't want them too thin, because if they're too thin, like this guy right here at this end is a little too thin. Not sure if you guys can see that, but that's not what you want, because that's just going to burn way too quickly and it's going to crumble. It's not ideal for chips. Beautiful potato chips. I love potatoes. You're going to let these soak in water. You're going to want to rinse them right out the bat, or right out the gate. You're going to want to rinse your potatoes and let them sit in a salt water for about half an hour. So nice cold fresh water. Potatoes are in there. I'm going to add a generous amount of salt. And don't worry, I know that seems like a lot of salt, but we're going to be rinsing it away. This is just the reason why we add the salt to the cold water. It's just going to help draw out some of the starch and pretty much just speed up that process a little bit. Just get in there with your hands, give them a toss. Okay, I will see you guys in about a half an hour to deep fry these bad boys. But they are all ready. They've been soaking. The starch has been drawn out of them. Now we have to dry these potatoes. So I'm going to go put all the excess water in the sink. I'll be right back. Okay, so I put my potatoes inside the strainer. I'm just going to press out any extra water. Shouldn't be too much. Luckily, these things don't hold that much water, but you can see that I do have a little bit at the base. And you want to get rid of as much water as possible. We're going to go even an extra step. We need to dry these. I'm going to lay down this clean tea towel. And I'm just going to lay out my potatoes. And I'm going just to scatter them around the cloth. But our goal here is to remove as much water as possible, because we're going to be putting these in hot oil. Now, whenever you put anything wet in hot oil, what is it going to do? It's going to splatter like crazy, and that's a huge safety hazard, and I don't want you guys getting hurt. So, dry your potatoes. Do it. Dry them. So I have a large pot here with just only about an inch of oil at the bottom. That's all you need for these. And the best part about this recipe, it doesn't make a mess. You can actually reuse this oil if you know that you're going to be frying something over the next few days. Chips up. But first things first, I'm just going to get them out of the way, put them inside the cloth, kind of pile them up, put them in this bowl, so I can keep them fresh and out of the air while I'm cooking them, because you're going to cook these in batches. Set it up so whenever you take the hot chips out of the oven, you have a place to put them out where all the oil can drip off, they can dry, so they can get crisped up Just makes it easier for you. Trust me, you're gonna want this set up beside your oil. So you're gonna wanna do this in batches. Put in about a cup of potatoes, and I'm just gonna put them in here and then throw them in. Watch that deep fry. Give them a good little stir. Now if you have metal, they're going to stick a little bit, and that's okay. But give them a quick stir. There we go. And they're gonna cook for about 10 minutes in this. Now you're gonna wanna fish these out, so this is why this tool that I have, it's called a spider, is honestly one of the best tools you can have whenever it comes to deep frying stuff. Very easy, especially whenever you're getting a bunch of these little things out of the oil. Using tongs, you can, but it might take you a little longer. What are you gonna do with your chips right after you take them out of the oil? Is me personally, I don't like to do anything to them. I like them just as is. I don't like them with any extra salt. And you can eat them if you like them a little bit of extra salt, you can throw it on now. It's actually best to throw it on now because they'll still have a little bit of the excess oil, and that will almost act like a glue for the salt. I'll define this one to show you guys. But it's very crispy on this side, but this side you can tell it's not fully cooked. It's cooked and it's light and fluffy. The potato's not crunchy at all, but it's pillowy and it's not cooked all the way through to make it crispy like this. So I find you're gonna have them no matter how you cook these potatoes. You're gonna have some pieces like this, and they also don't store very well. So you can store this recipe up to 2 weeks actually in a sealed container. But these will not store as well. The moisture will create mold. I'm just going to store these in a very simple container with a very simple lid. This isn't anything fancy. Just pick them up, toss them in here. If you know that you like a seasoning on all the chips, let's say if you're doing, let's say, a salt and vinegar, you can put them all in here, put a little bit of seasoning, shake them up, and they're all coated. You guys see this? Like, these are actual chips. I just made chips. Like, that's a chip. Holy shit. Oh, good. Thank you for watching Habitat Kitchen and watching me make one of my favorite things. And I don't have to go to the grocery store for it. I can make them right at home. Okay. We'll see you next time, guys. I'm gonna go play Among Us with my friends and probably eat all of these. See ya.